We will go down in the history books as the cyber generation. We were born into a world of technology, a television and a computer in every home, the internet connecting us all. Bill Gates, CEO of Macintosh, tells us, "I think it's fair to say that personal computers have become the most empowering tool we've ever created. They're tools of communication, they're tools of creativity, and they can be shaped by their user. So why are we using these devices for Candy Crush and selfies and memes, when they can enable us to create and innovate, to dig deeper and to look further? This generation is the fulfillment of the American dream. Our ancestors did not work so that they could have a better life. They built a new life in America so that their descendants could be successful. We are the generation that does not have to work in a field. We are the generation that is expected to go to college. And we are the generation where every last one of us is told we are going to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer. Unfortunately, we are also the generation of instant gratification and distraction. These days, no one takes time for introspection. Everyone has to go on to the next thing, busy themselves, ponder over trivial things. With introspection comes innovation. When you think about yourself and where you are emotionally, you are in a position to create. Maybe you are not born with the gift of art or words. That is not an excuse. Art doesn't have to be beautiful. It has to be meaningful. Why is this generation so afraid to create? Poet Sylvia Plath states, "Everything in life is writable, if you have the outgoing guts to do it and the imagination to improvise." The worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt. Every last one of us has the power to unlock the truth of humanity, because every one of us is human. One cannot argue that they are any less human than Shakespeare, Socrates, or Steve Jobs. You can only say that you don't think as much. You don't pause to find societal tendencies or to think about the beauty of your surroundings. Never let self-doubt stop you from creating. Your ideas are important. Each human here has a purpose. Stop to think about what you can do to make your mark. Have the outgoing guts that Sylvia Plath speaks of to make something of your experiences. Create something. Don't use technology for what it already gives you. Use it as a tool to create something that is yours. Just think. Think and make thoughts come to life. Thoughts aren't embarrassing or weird. They are central to the human experience. Think and have the guts to create and share. One of the largest problems people have with creating is when they stop to think and nothing comes. Looking at the world and trying to formulate a coherent thought, for some feels like staring at a book and not being able to read the words. Sometimes you need to let creativity happen to you instead of going out and finding it. Ray Bradbury once claimed, "Don't think. Thinking is the enemy of creativity. It's self-conscious, and anything self-conscious is lousy. You can't try to do things. You simply must do things." So perhaps you shouldn't think. Go out, live, don't think. But when something strikes you and inspires you, hold on to it. Let the idea grow in you and let other ideas be added to it. As Steve Jobs explains, creativity is just connecting things. When you ask creative people how they did something, they feel a little guilty because they didn't really do it. They just saw something and it seemed obvious to them after a while. That's because they were able to connect experiences they've had and synthesize new things. So don't think, just do. Experience life. Keep a running list of meaningful experiences. Let creativity happen to you. Nothing in life is permanent. Everything you make is subject to change. If you have a half-baked idea, make something half-baked. No story is finished. There is no limit to what we can make. So please, whatever you do, try to make something of it. Never be defined by the technology generation. Don't be the kid who can't spell because they've only ever lived with spell check. Don't be the person who whips out their phone the moment they start to think. Think. Question everything. Look for truths of humanity, or just experience life. Take everything with a grain of salt. Whichever you choose, don't be your generation. Be you. Make something to remember. Nothing you experience is for naught. Stay inquisitive, stay inspired. Always make something from what life hands you.